G'day guys, so I have bought a stringing machine. This is the Spinfire Blaze crank machine, 6 mounting points. I used to have a drop weight machine years ago and they're a bit fiddly. I got rid of that and I haven't had one for a long time. And I thought I'd get one because I like stringing my own rackets, and normally around here when you ask for something in the 40s, you get it in the 50s, which is just kind of weird, but it happens. So I thought let's go out and get my own. So this machine obviously has a stand. Pretty happy with that. My last one I just put on a table, and that just got annoying. I might put wheels on the bottom of this just to make it easier to move around because I can't just leave it here. So string wise, when I demoed these Extreme Tours, it came with standard links and I absolutely loved it. It was nice and soft and plush, and felt like I could wrap the strings around the ball and put it where I wanted. But since then I just experimented with a few different strings and started using Solinco Confidential, which I really like. I still have it here. I have one of my rackets strung with this. I'm actually going to go back 2 links. I prefer the feel. But I have in my hands Toroline Toro Toro, which I've wanted to try these Toroline strings for a while. All these YouTubers going on about them and raving and raving. You don't know if it's because they're getting them for free or whatever. Maybe, maybe not. So I thought I'd give it a crack. I also have Wasabi X, which is typically, they recommend to use it in a cross. I'll try that down the track with something else. But I wanted to try a full bed of this to compare to the Confidential. I wanted to try Super Toro, which is a blue string, and a firmer version of the Toro Toro, which would probably be a better comparison to Confidential, as that's a little bit firm as well. But Tennis Direct Australia, who has just started stocking Toroline strings, they don't have Super Toro yet. So I'm trying the Toro Toro today. We'll see what it's like. It's pink, so I don't know if it's going to suit this racket to my aesthetic anyway. I like black strings or dark grey. This is very pink, very, very pink. The packaging is sensational, just quietly. Doesn't really mean anything, but it looks pretty cool. So this string is extremely pink, quite slick. So we'll see what this is like. Suki, are you in my video? So what I like about this is it comes in 2 pieces. The head strings come in 1 piece, and you've got to measure out the mains, which it's a small little win, but it's a win, not having to bother doing that. I'm going to do this at 46 pounds. The Confidential in my other racket I did at 50 about 2 weeks ago. I've had a few hits with that one. It's dropped off a bit, and I want it softer. So I'll go 46 and see if I want to go even softer from there, which I might do. I've had a bit of an arm issue, and that's why I'm going back to the links. I prefer the feel of the links for starters, and I get good control and rip out of the ball. But it's just that pockety feel that string gives that really just complements this racket, I feel, for me, for my style of game. And it's black. Comes in green as well, which I think black and green hybrid of the links in this would look pretty cool, or black and yellow. So yeah, pink, looking at it, it might suit, but it's not for me. This would have to feel absolutely unbelievable for me to stick to this. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. 46 pounds. And yeah, let's get to it. Too tight. Awesome. Anyway, so I might, that's 46. I think I'm just going to go 42. See how this hits anyway. I'm hitting in an hour. So we'll see what it's like. I'll compare both. Confidential to this. So there. Toro Toro. Let's see what it feels like on court. Let me know if you've tried it, if you like it, or any of their other strings. Or any tips you've got for stringing with a crank. Let us know. So the first thing that I noticed straight away was how soft the string bed felt. When I'd finished stringing and banging the racket with my hand, I felt that it was a bit tight, but actually on the ball, the string bed feels way softer than 46 pounds. So with that in mind, there's no way that I would go any lower than 46 with this string on this racket for me anyway. I was quite often getting this nice deep pocketing sensation. It really felt like the ball dwelled into the string bed, which was sometimes a bit too much for my liking, but it really did feel quite soft and plush. Although every now and then the ball did tend to feel a bit heavy, which was a little bit annoying. So I found myself a little conflicted. Although overall it's a really nice feeling string. Ultimately, I think this string would really suit around 48 pounds for me, and I might have to buy some more and try in my pro staff as well, because I think it would absolutely suit that frame, not only for the feel, but also because of these sexy looks. Over to Solinco Confidential now. This is strung a little bit tighter than the Toro Toro, but I have had this racket strung at 46 with the Confidential before, so I know what it plays like at that lower tension. Now this is crisper, and I think I prefer this feel. It still has a really nice pockety sensation to it without being too dwelly. The Confidential just has so much more control, in my opinion, and just gives me that much more confidence to go for my shots, and I kind of get the sensation that I just can't miss. The spin potential on the Confidential is just second to none, in my opinion. It's far greater than on the Toro Toro. It's so easy to rip the ball with this string, but it's also easy to flatten out your shots without problem. I am a bit of a flatter hitter sometimes, and it still really suits me to a T. Realistically, I'd be happy with playing with either of these strings. I just feel Confidential gives me just a little more bite and more control. This is my third hit comparing the two, and I've just felt over these 3 hits that the Confidential wins by just a small margin. So just come off court, hitting with this Toro Toro from Toroline, this bright pink string. I was comparing it to the Confidential, which I was pretty happy with. I've been using that for the last couple months. Now this string feels softer than Confidential. If you like a softer string, this might be the go for you. It's not massive with spin. Confidential's definitely got more spin, I would say. Feel-wise, though, it's really nice, really pockety. This was strung at 46 pounds, and my other one with the Confidential was at 50 pounds, but that was strung 2 weeks ago, so I think it's playing around 48. This is definitely really, really dwelly, I would say. It feels like the ball sits in your racket, for ages, and sometimes a bit too long. I like that feel to a point. This was maybe a bit much, but I really still liked it. Definitely like the Confidential better. Only a bit, I would say. Just feels a bit more just a bit more control, a bit more. It's a bit more crisp, and I didn't think I liked the crisp feel. But if I'm going to compare this to that, I prefer the Confidential for that crispness off the strings. But it also, the Confidential has that bit of a springy feel to it as well with the crispness. That's really nice. But this is really good. It is really good. I'm not a huge fan of the bright pink in this racket. Okay, some might. You know, if it was all yellow, maybe it would. I don't know. It's not for me. It would look really nice in this Pro Staff, I would say. This was quite an easy string to string with compared to Confidential. That's really wiry. The Confidential feels really, really wiry. This is much softer. But yeah, much more grip it feels on the Confidential. So yeah, this is a really nice string. I'd definitely be able to play with this permanently if I wanted to, but there's other strings that I do prefer, so I'll stick to those. Yeah, this plays really nice at 46. For me, I wouldn't go lower. It's quite springy, you know. Maybe even a bit tighter would be good. Maybe 48, just a little bit tighter. But yeah, it plays really nice in this racket. A lot of YouTubers, you know, they go on about these Toroline strings, and a lot of people sort of wonder, are they just being biased because they're getting the strings for free? Maybe. I don't think they are. They seem, all the reviewers that I've watched, they seem pretty honest, I would say. But yeah, I mean, it is a nice string. You can't deny it is a really nice string. There's the blue Super Toro, which is the firmer version of this, as far as I am aware. That would be nice to try as well. A bit more of a direct comparison, maybe, to the Confidential. It might be crisper than this. The ball might not dwell into the string bed as much as this. Some of you guys might absolutely love that feel. Sometimes the ball felt heavy. That's the only way I can kind of explain it. Is sometimes the ball would feel quite heavy even when you middle this. You know, the ball just sits in there, and it's like you could have a bite to eat, and then the ball might feel like coming out. It just sits in there for ages. But yeah, that's not all the time. You don't get that every shot. It's just, yeah, sometimes it just sits in there, and you know, but it comes out really well. I must say, this string and Lynx Tour, to me, they're a shaped string, but to me they feel like just a round poly. I can't really tell that they're shaped compared to when I hit with Confidential straight off the bat. I'm like, yeah, this has got some sharpness to it for sure. You know, these ones are much smoother, and hence they're softer to hit with. But yeah, these strings don't move at all. Confidential hasn't moved either, so the snapback is really good, as they call it. So yeah, really nice string, I must say. I just think it would look a lot better in a different racket. Maybe a pure aero or something like that. It'll look pretty cool. But Tennis Direct Australia have just started stocking the Toroline strings. They haven't got the Super Toro yet. That's the blue one, a little bit firmer than this. I kind of wanted to try that, but then I saw this one. It's a softer version, so I thought that's probably better for me anyway. If you want to give them a try, I know a lot of people do, to see what the fuss is about. They're a good string, you know. They're nothing out of the ordinary, like, you know, some guys might be making out. But yeah, they're nice. There's a lot of nice strings out there. I've got Wasabi X as well. I want to try that in a cross. They recommend that's a good cross string, so I might try that with Confidential, as I've still got Confidential. I don't have any more of this. I just got the one set. So yeah, we'll see how that feels. Might even do it in a cross with 4G. I've got that in a set, so I might try that. Let us know. Do you think they're overhyped or not? Have you tried them? You like them? You don't like them?